We're back to YouTube. Actually never tried to film a YouTube video with her in my life, so we might need to get rid of her ball. Today is literally just gonna be a very long, in-depth, get to know me Q&A because I feel like I have never actually sat down and done a Q&A, so you guys don't really know that much about me. And I did a poll on Instagram a long time ago. I said I was gonna do a video. It's literally been months, and I never did. So we're gonna pull it up. How do I pause it? Oh, I don't know how to pause it. All right, guys, we're back. We're back up. I found all the questions. 1 bar of battery left on my camera and 5% on my phone. So we're gonna have to rapid fire all of this. Okay, so I'm gonna just like go through basics. I'm 25 years old. Miss Girl, you need to settle down. She's really excited about the camera being here. I've lived in Canada my whole life. I have 1 sister. Don't really know what else, to be honest. I went to school, I got my bachelor's in psychology. I worked for 2 years and now I'm doing social media full time, so yay. One question that I get asked through and through is my weight, my measurements, my height, all that. I'm 5'7". I weigh about 105 pounds right now. I don't know my measurements, to be honest. I really have no idea. I just felt like there was some sort of stigma around how much people weigh. Let's move on from that. Another question I get is if I've ever had any work done. No, I've never gotten any work done. Actually though, fun fact, when I was 18, I got a breast reduction because I was literally shaped like an AirPod. I'm not even kidding. I was a tiny girl with huge boobs. So we had to get those chopped off. I hated it. I hated having big boobs. It was just not for me. I feel like, yeah, obviously, like I was getting so much back pain. I can talk about that more if you guys want. I've literally never shared that on social media. The best decision of my life. But other than that, never had any filler, Botox, anything. I'm also not opposed to it. Like, you do you. I would probably get Botox at some point in my life just to like prevent aging. So if I do ever get anything done, I will share it. Like, I'm an open book. I don't care. But like as of right now. What's your weekly workout split? I actually don't have one. I feel like for the most part, I go to the gym and I lift what I want based off vibes. Okay, you have your booty in the camera. Do you mind? She's a very Velcro dog, if you can't tell. I would say I probably try to hit legs 1 to 2 times a week. Usually hit upper body like 2 or 3 times a week. And that's that. So yeah, let's move on to the next question. How do you deal with inflammation? I eat very clean. I don't really eat out, and doing cardio consistently has honestly changed the game for my bloating. I used to be so bloated. I've shared my transformation online. I used to get so freaking bloated. Eating clean and doing cardio have been the two top things. Like literally no supplements, nothing. I used to focus so much on getting in as much protein as I could, and that's when I looked my worst. Like, I'm literally not even kidding. So once I stopped doing that, it made me a lot less bloated. How do you do all your different sports? I just have a really good split that that ChatGPT came up with for me, and I tweaked it a little bit, but I basically have every day like scheduled out for training, and I know exactly what I'm gonna do. So that's that, and it's great. I love it. How do you manage to work out so much without getting totally ravenous? I am totally ravenous. I eat many times a day.
Currently, I literally wake up in the morning, I have breakfast number 1, and then I'll usually take her out or go on my run, have breakfast number 2. Well, if I'm going on a run, I won't eat before. Have breakfast number 2, and then I'll go to the gym, I'll come back, I'll have lunch. I'll have lunch before the gym. Depends on what time I'm going to the gym. Home, I eat dinner. Sometimes, if I have leftovers, I'll literally eat a second dinner, and then I'll have dessert. I have a sweet treat every single night. I love a good sweet treat.
I really do get completely ravenous, and I don't do anything about it, so. Tips to become shredded. I get this all the time. Like, how did you get abs? How did you get shredded? Running, biking, cardio, Stairmaster, anything that you enjoy doing cardio-wise. Also getting in at least, honestly, most days I get like over 15,000 steps, which I know is kind of insane for most people, but I feel like when you run, you kind of naturally get over 15K steps anyways. But at least 10K steps a day. At least. I don't track anything. I never have. I've never tracked macros. I've never tracked calories. So I completely forgot to mention, but if you guys do want a lifting split, I have one in my bio on Instagram, so you can get it. There's so much information on there. So if you want to know my gym split, aside from training endurance stuff, check that out. Okay. Shameless plug. We have some questions about Myra, which is this girl right here. She's a year old. I got her from Spokane, Washington. She was a rescue. Rescuing is, just do it. If you're gonna get a dog. I have always wanted a Doberman. I've always wanted to rescue a dog. So I was searching high and low as soon as I moved out on Pet Finder, and I got her. She was about 10 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks old. She is my best friend. I love her so, so much. We have honestly been through so much together. She almost died when she was 5 or 6 months old, which is a whole thing. I did a post about it. She was paralyzed for a couple months. Her chances of walking again were honestly like not super high. And it was a whole thing, but she is an incredible dog. She pushed through so well. I'm so proud of her. Now she's my only running buddy. I run with her all the time, which is crazy because just a few months ago, she couldn't even walk. Like, she was literally paralyzed. It's actually insane. How did you train her? I took her to a trainer that specialized in police dogs and service dogs. I really wanted to lock in on her training and have her be like the most perfect angel dog ever. The trainer was incredible. I did only 3 sessions. They were expensive, but super, super worth it. Especially when you have a dog like this that's high energy. You know, they already kind of have a bad or like a scary rep. So I wanted her to be amazing and perfect and protective. She's so protective over me. She's so good. Can you tell I'm obsessed with her? What do you do as a career? Currently, I just do social media full time. Love it. I'm so grateful to be in this position, but I also did work in mental health for 2 years, and that's what I went originally to school for. Did you do any sports growing up, and did that encourage your health and fitness lifestyle? Yes, I honestly did so many sports growing up. I did like basically everything under the sun, which I'm so grateful for my parents to have done for me. My main 2 sports were figure skating and karate, and I did those basically my entire teenagehood, and I competed a lot. So glad I was able to do that. So yeah. How often do you run per week? Currently with triathlon 2 to 3 times a week, but when I was doing my half marathon, I was running a lot more. But if I'm not training for anything, I'll just run when I feel like it, which usually is like 4 times a week. Curious about your tattoo. What does it say? Meeting placement. So this is my tattoo. I got this matching with my sister when we were quite young. I think I was 17, and it says karate in Farsi, which I'm Persian, so we got matching ones when we were kids, literally. And I don't know how we convinced my dad to let us do that, but we did. Do you struggle with body image? Probably everyone does, and how do you deal with it? Yes, yes, and yes. I struggle honestly quite a bit with body image. I feel like I have such horrible body dysmorphia. Tapping into endurance training, running, has like made me realize is I'm so much more than just how I look, which I know sounds so obvious and so stupid, but a lot of the time when I was just lifting weights, I would only value my body on how it looked physically, whereas now I can run 21 kilometers. I can bike 50 kilometers if I want. I feel like it's made me appreciate my body more than just how it looks, but I still do struggle with it. I'll just put on a sweatsuit if I don't want to look at myself, and I'll deal with my day. How do you like living on your own? What are some things you noticed about yourself? I feel like the biggest thing I noticed is that I'm such a clean freak. I literally clean every single day. I cannot leave the house. I can't go to sleep. I can't do anything if my apartment is slightly messy. I do miss living with my family though, I'm not gonna lie. I love having someone to talk to when I get home. And I have her, and trust me, I talk to her as if she's a human, which is questionable sometimes, okay? Especially also working from home in combination with living on my own. Piece of advice you go by every single day. Oh, that's a good one. But I actually do have something off the top of my head. I think about this basically every single day, but it's do something uncomfortable every single day. I think from David Goggins or something. It is such a good piece of advice when you literally apply it to your life. Whether that be running an errand or doing something so small. But okay, here's the thing. I try to not make it something so small, but if I ever find myself bothered by something small, I'll remind myself this. It helps me so much when I'm doing a hard workout or running or doing anything on a hill, to be completely honest, like any kind of uphill, biking, running. Anytime that I literally want to stop, I just think, okay, I'm doing my hard thing of the day, and it makes me way more productive and also like pushes me past what I feel like my body can do. So my camera did actually die. I charged it for 10 minutes. We're gonna lock in and do the rest really quick. But I only had like 2 questions left. The first one, being, have you ever struggled with mental health? Please share. Oh boy, have I. Yes, a lot. I honestly spent a lot of my teenage years depressed, and then also going into university and my early 20s. I was taking medication for it up until last year. I decided to stop, but I also have a lot to say about medication. And honestly, I probably won't ever share it because I feel like it's just controversial. But I will say getting off of medication was one of the best things I've ever done. And I'm so glad that I did. I just didn't want to be reliant on something that is artificially changing my brain chemistry, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. I'm very grateful for what I went through. In a weird way, it shaped me into who I am. So, like, there's lessons out of everything, I guess, even though it sucked. Are you religious? Yes, I'm Christian. I have my little cross. I never really talked about that. That probably wraps up everything. I feel like I answered most of my commonly asked questions. If you made it this far, I'm surprised and thank you. So I will see you guys. Oh my, has she just been standing there this whole time looking like that?